Hello viewers, today we are going to see about dispersion by a prism. The phenomenon of splitting of light into different colors is known as dispersion. So we have a glass prism here. We allow white light to fall on the glass prism. If I say white light, basically it means that sunlight. So sunlight contains all the wavelength, all the visual spectrum. So actually the white light is supposed to travel in this direction, but because of the refractive index of glass prism, the white light bends like this, and we have different colors ranging from 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. Generally we call it as VIBGR: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. After 700 nanometer you will experience infrared, and below 400 nanometer you will experience ultraviolet. So this is the spectrum of white light. So if I say 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer is the visible spectrum, it means that 400 nanometer is one tint or one color. 400.1 is 0.1 nanometers another color. It's a shade of violet. So similarly, if I say 700 nanometer, it's red, and if it is 680 nanometer, it may be a shade of red, or 680.2 is another shade. So generally speaking, we can classify into 7 broad colors, that is VIBGR: violet, indigo, blue. Violet, indigo, blue, VIBGR, GYOR. Blue, green, yellow, orange and red. So the red is supposed to have the 700 nanometer wavelength, larger wavelength when compared to violet. Violet has 400 nanometer. So there is bending of red light is, the angle of bending is very low compared to the angle of bending of violet light. And also the red light travels faster than white light in a glass prism. If you see the red light, to travel from this point to this point, it will take short time when compared to violet, because it has to travel this much distance, so the time required will be more for violet. Generally speaking, in vacuum or in air, the speed of light is independent of wavelength. Suppose these colors is allowed to travel in air or vacuum, the speed of each one of the color will be same, which is nothing but 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. That is 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second in free space, vacuum or air. Therefore we can conclude that vacuum or in air is a non-dispersive medium in which all colors travel with same speed. So this is important observation. Okay, now we told that white light contains all the colors, but the big question is whether because of the glass prism is converting or generating these type of colors, or white colors have all these colors. We don't know. So to prove that, what Newton did was, he exactly replaced a same type of glass prism in an inverted fashion. So the diagram will be like this. Okay. So what Newton did is, he allowed white beam to fall on the prism. Identically similar prism was placed quite opposite, like this fashion. This angle, apex angle, this angle is same. So violet, here we have red, here this side we will be having violet. So the range of colors is VIBGR. So wave is bent through the glass prism and comes out. Once again, immediately these light is allowed to fall on the second prism, but the second prism is inverted. So what happens is, once again this undergoes a refraction, and once it comes out of the prism 2, you will get the white light beam. So here input side you have white light beam, output also white light beam. So this confirms that white light contains all the spectrum. If I say all the spectrum, it ranges from 400 nanometers to 700 nanometers. So this confirms that white light contains all the wavelengths. So it contains 400. Visual spectrum starts from 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. Now 400.1 nanometer is another color or shades of violet. 400.5 nanometer is another shade. Okay. So generally speaking, you can have infinite number of colors between 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. All will be in the shades of this WIP-GR. So you can have n number of shades with violet, indigo, blue, green, violet, yellow, orange and red. Okay. So each one will be, so broadly speaking, we have green means around this you have n number of shades, because so this is roughly 400 nanometer and this is 700 nanometer. Okay, the spectrum, visual spectrum we already seen like this. So roughly this, if you say 400, this is 700, this may be around 500 or 680 like that. So around 680 you can have shades of green or yellow. So each 400.1, 400.5 like that you can have n number of colors. So Newton proved that white light contains all the colors ranging from 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. So that's all about this topic, dispersion by a prism. Hope you have understood this concept thoroughly. Thanks for watching this video. Nandri.